Well, the period of Ramayana has been determined. I'll come to that. But and Mahabharata also, not only through literary evidences, but also through um, archaeological evidence now. Uh, Interestingly, in Ramayana, I have not found the uses of the word Bharat. Yet it is called Aryavarta. And then, as you know, Arya doesn't mean it doesn't denote a race. It was a theory they were propagating. Arya means a noble person, a great civilization, great people. So Aryaputra, Aryaputri, these are the words used in Ramayana and Mahabharata. But then colonists and Marxist historians say, oh no, Aryavarta was the northern part of Bharat that was invaded by the Aryans and so forth. And today we find that Aryavarta was a land area, but the entire Bharatvarsha was Aryavarta in that sense. So um, now some evidence. So as you can see, if in Ramayana we have description of um, Sri Ramchandra and Lakshman Sita Mas, they're all going for Banvas. And the places they traveled, it is very well described in Ramayana. The names, the rivers, the flowers, the plants, the animals, the rivers, mountains, most of them are still there. And that tells us this whole Bharatvarsha was one united um, landmass culturally and adhatmic wise and otherwise. So how do we know the age of Ramayana and Mahabharata? So one thing they have used, Purana is in a way encyclo, where just like today we have different encyclopedias, Wikipedia. So it keeps on changing. You keep on adding things, information in events, and that's where Puranas are called Itihasa. But unfortunately, or fortunately, both ways, dating is not specific. In most of the Puranas, okay, when this thing is happening, what time frame, it is very hard to find those sources. But luckily in Ramayana and Mahabharata, we have every time there's an event happening, uh, the 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 composer, or whether it's Valmiki or Vedabhas, they are actually noting down what was the constellation of different stars and planets, and based on that, they have come up with a lot of data going backwards. Like, okay, when this constellation happened, when this star was there, these are the five stars they were together. When Bhishma Pitamaha was dying, there was a description. When the Mahabharata war starts, there's a description. And based on that, a bunch of scientists, they have come up with this dating uh, that the Mahabharata period and Sri Krishna's time and Mahabharata war happened between 3066 BCE and 3138 BCE, before the Common Era. So these are the people who did uh, use the software. They developed the astronomic software, planetarium software. Based on that, they all came together, and this date is more or less fixed. So that's based on the text itself. Now, how about archaeology? You will see that uh, in Dwarka, they found a submerged city, and in Sanauli, Uttar Pradesh, there is some archaeological evidence found related to Mahabharata, and some maybe even Ramayana. But some of the samples, like the left-hand side, this one is the submerged city in Gujarat, and there are some. This is from UP, and more importantly, Dr. B.B. Lal, who was the head of Archaeological Survey of India for many years, um, and he recently passed away at the age of 100. He wrote this book through his research, Indraprastha, the earliest Delhi going back to Mahabharata times. And that tells that we have a history um, that is very old. So Indraprastha was that place. Now let's go back to let's see what Mahabharata says about the naming of this country. So this Bhishma Parma has three different slokas. I'm not going to read. I'm just going to show those who are interested. You can actually look it up, read, and I have a summary of what these slokas are actually talking about. So the summary of these slokas I just showed you. I will now will you owe your Bharat's race. This race doesn't mean jati. This is about the clan, Bharat's dynasty, Bharat's clan or Vansh. O you Bharat's race of the tract of the land known by Bharata's name. This land is the beloved one of Indra, and you of Bharata's race, this land, O monarch that is called after Bharat, is also the beloved land of Manu, the son of Vivasat, of Prithu, of Vainya, of the high soul Ikshaku. By the way, Ikshaku is the name of the clan also where Sri Ramchandra belongs to. That is also Surya Vansha. Of Yajati, and so many other names are there. And Sri Ramchandra was the 80th king of this Vansh, Surya Vansh, Ikshashu Vansh. So from Bharat, Raja Bharat, all the way to Ram, there is a connection. Then we also have how many? 50 rivers. There are 50 rivers mentioned in Mahabharata. And that's very interesting. And then during the great Mahabharata war, how many countries actually participated? Countries in this case is kingdoms or they used to call Janapadas. And again, I just wanted to mention uh, the nation, the democracy, the concept that today we understand is just one idea. So Bharatvarsha is so old, it has experimented with so many different forms of governance, monarchy to other forms, democracy. So these are the Janapadas more or less were free kingdoms, and they were united with one culture, one heritage, one civilization, as you know how old it is. And sometimes there was a Chhatrapati king, ruling over the entire landmass, like Chandragupta Maurya, Raja Vikramaditya, Maharaja Samrat Vikramaditya. And there were times where there were local kings, there were alliances, sometimes fights. So that's how these kingdoms were living. So these are the all 17 different nations came into being, came into the Mahabharata, took part with either Pandavas or Kauravas. And if you notice that there are countries that are from all over, from north to east, south. There's no exception of any part of this country. So I'm not going to read through it, but you'll see there are so many. This is Chola, this is Dravida, Kamakha, and all these areas. Tamralipta, which is in Bengal, south of Bengal. So these are mentioned in Mahabharata, which is quite old, 5,000 plus years old.